Some people choose to travel part-time so they can work at home half of the year or enjoy the season they love the most back home. We chose to travel full-time because it felt right for us. Hi, and welcome to lesson number 4.
We hope you enjoyed the last lesson and you found your type of traveling.
Are you gonna go by cab? Or are you gonna walk? Are you gonna live at hotels? Or are you gonna live in a tent? Sure hope you found out yesterday.
Welcome to lesson number 4.
When we decided to go traveling, we didn't know for how long time. We knew that we wanted to go traveling full time and not necessarily have to go home at some point, but we had no plan about was it going to be 1 year or 2 years or indefinitely. We had no idea about that. The only thing we knew was that it was long enough to sell our house.
Of course, your type of traveling is also an indicator of the volume, because if it's only surfing, then you need places to surf. If it's skiing, you need places to ski. Or is it hiking, you need places that are hiking friendly. Hikeable?
We're talking a lot about being full-time travelers, but it doesn't have to be a full-time travel necessarily if it doesn't fit you. So today we're going to talk about travel volume. How much do you want to travel? Do you want to travel all year, or do you want to travel part of the year, or how are you going to do it? That's what we're going to talk about today.
When you're choosing the volume of your traveling, try to forget about what will it cost, because right now it's just for you to decide how much of this am I going to do. But you're one of the lucky ones because you know what type you're going on. The only hurdle is how long time am I going to go.
The volume can also be if you found out that I like, let's say, Portugal, and I like to go surfing. Then there are seasons in Portugal that are better for surfing than others. So you might say, okay, I go the 3 best months, and then I go home, and then I edit videos I've taken, or I write blog posts, or I write a book about surfing. And that can also be the decision about how long you want to be abroad and what your travel volume is.
You might be into fishing or hunting, and I know these are also decided by season, and you might take that in consideration when you need to find your volume, where to go, in which season there are these types of fish or these types of hunting animals.
For us it was easy because our plan was to follow the sun, and we could follow that one anywhere we went. So we didn't have seasons that we had to think about. We only had the road ahead of us and the sun. So we could go as long as we wanted to, and we're doing that. Tomorrow we are going to talk about economy. I know that's one of the big questions for you. So right now you have to decide your travel volume without thinking about the economy that we're going to do tomorrow.
So, the volume of your traveling is very much decided not only by you, but also your work and your family and all this. But mainly it's you.
And don't think about economy.
It's up to you and your decision, because holding back because of family, because of friends, you have to make sure it makes you happy. Again, this is you.
Maybe one of your kids are pregnant and you know that you're gonna be a grandparent and you want to be there when the child is born. Then you can decide you want to go to travel for 9 months first and then get home and be a grandparent.
I hope you don't love it that much that you'll just Skype the birth.
Like we did.
Yeah.
No. we actually became grandparents on the road, and we weren't there for the birth. But we had an agreement with our daughter that we wanted to go home when there was baptism. So not the first couple of weeks, but within a month we were there. But we left again, and that's who we are. We don't need to hang around with this baby all the time. We have an agreement that there's gonna be a lot of holidays with us, and a lot of swimming, and a lot of chasing the sun with us. But for us, we don't need to be at home with our granddaughter all the time. So again, that's also a part of deciding your travel volume. What kind of person are you? What are your desires? And as always, feel inside your heart, what do you need and what do you want to decide, not what others want, because a lot of other people actually think that we should be home more with our granddaughter, but to us, that's not the case.
We know all these choices we say is you, and it's all you. There's nothing selfish about thinking about you, because when thinking about you and making decisions for you that makes you happy, makes other people happy, because you are a lot easier to shine happiness to other people when you're happy yourself. So deciding the volume of your traveling is totally up to you. I know a pair, a marriage couple, who have bicycling all the way around Europe. Yeah, they are older people, but again, they knew they wanted to do this, and then they said, how long is this gonna take? And they had no idea, of course, it was on a bicycle. And after, I think it was 2.5 years, they decided, okay, we need to be home with our children, and we need to be home. And then they went home, and they were there for 2 months. And then they said, oh, we need to bike some more. And then they left again, and I think they are up on 6 years now, just bicycling all the way around. And of course they save a lot of money by doing the traveling by bike, and all this, their food and everyday consumptions are not that high, because it's not airplanes or cars or hotels they're staying in. They went this really cheap way of doing it, and they've been loving it for 6 years and are still going. And that again is, how long did they want to travel? They didn't know at first.
They knew that it would be at least a few years, and then they wanted to go home. But then they changed their minds and they kept on going, and that is also possible for you. You can start out by saying, I want to go 6 months, and then on the way or when you get home you can decide, okay, I'm not done yet, I want to go 6 months more. You can also say that if you are on the road and you have decided for, let's say, 2 years, and you find out 2 years is too much for me, I want to go home, that's also possible. Even though you decide today, nothing is certain until you're really out there. As always, you can change it along the way if you feel, I want to travel more or I want to travel less. It's always possible to change it.
Now, we all know the feeling when you are on vacation and you get to the last day and you say, oh, I could be here all my life.
A few months back, I actually stumbled upon a small village that I thought, I could stay here for good. So you might do that too. It's possible. It's also possible that you won't find it at all, and at some point you're gonna miss home. But you can change on the way.
And of course, the volume also is decided by, are you walking or are you buying a car to do it? All these different ways. Of course, if you decide to go backpacking, walking from home, and want to see the most of the world, it's gonna take some time. But also that this is a part of the lesson number 5, the money.
Does it cost money to walk?
No, but it's still, you need things to eat, and you need to, you need your equipment to be right, and that takes, of course, not as much money as if you're buying a motorhome or buying a bus or buying a small plane.
We'll talk more about that tomorrow. Maybe full-time travel is simply too overwhelming for you right now. You want to travel and you have decided your travel type and you've told people and you know who you are, but the thought of being out there all the time, that's not for you, at least not right now. And then you decide that I'm not gonna be a full-time traveler, I'm just gonna travel for a longer time than a vacation. Maybe you can actually have a job, the one that you have now, but you can travel while you're still working. But sometimes you have to go home and have meetings or just check up on everything and deliver results, and that can also be a part of the way that you decide on what volume you want to travel.
Yeah, we are lucky to live in a time where you can actually work from abroad in on a computer or other types of electronic ways of keeping up with your work at home. Have no fear, Avengers here.
You might like the winter or you might like the fall, and that might be a reason for you to go home part of the year and stay home and enjoy these seasons that you like. It could also be you don't want to miss out on your family around Christmas, so maybe you stay home in December instead of being out and abroad.
Or you are a totally different traveler who loves the snow, who loves the cold, and you even only are home around Christmas and winter time, and when you go traveling you go skiing or to Norway or Greenland or Alaska, anywhere where it's cold because that's what you love, and that's cool.
We had no doubt that we wanted to go traveling all year. We didn't have to go home. We were like done with what we had at home. We had no house and the kids were grown up and we quit our jobs, and it was possible for us to be full-time travelers. So that was how we did it.
It was because we were at that point in life where we didn't need to ask that many people, and we didn't have to worry about bringing our children or worrying about our parents. So it was easy for us to make the decision.
Yeah.
Of how long we were going to go.
Exactly. One of the main reasons to go traveling, besides adventure, was of course that we are not really that keen on the weather in Denmark, and since there's only 2 months of real summer in Denmark.
Still rains though.
Yeah, still rains in the summer sometimes. We wanted to go all year because the rest of the month, the rest 10 months in Denmark, it was too cold for us. It can be that you are simply not ready to leave everything behind and travel all the time. So that can be a reason for staying home a part of the year. It can also be that you can maybe only have furlough from your work for a shorter period of time, or maybe you want to go home and earn some money and then use them for traveling.
If you want to be part-time traveler, it's just as good as full-time, believe me.
And remember, as always, you are the one who makes the decisions. Nobody's gonna choose for you. It's gonna be what you feel in your heart that you want to do. So today you have to choose your travel volume. Is it gonna be a long time, or is it gonna be a short time? Is it gonna be forever? Is it gonna be a few years? That's what you decide today. And don't think about the economy. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We're done here. You go to your worksheets and you decide what is the volume of your travel. How long time do you want to travel? Full time? Part time? Whatever you wish. So that's it for now. Bye.
Bye.
Again, there's no right or wrong decision here. You have to do what feels right for you. But still, it's a part of the adventure to leave your comfort zone a little.